Hi, and welcome to the third game in the Heteroskedastic Cannonbrawl tournament. I am Chesscitten, and I'm to the left of the screen. This game I forgot to hit record until after the build loadouts, which means you can't see exactly what buildings I got. But I had chosen balloon, mine, demolisher, cannon, and missile turret. This is not my standard build, but since I'd already lost 2 games to Hetero, I wanted to do something I knew I had defeated him with before. It's a selection of buildings that makes it very hard when facing a laser, but lasers are very rare on this map, and I doubted Hetero would do lasers in a tourney game. I was also strongly suspecting Hetero was going to do something that he actually did, which is going mountain makers, and if he goes mountain makers and I go to standard, which is missile towers, shield and repair, I am quite screwed. So we both deviated from standard this game, and therefore it might be interesting. You have to watch and see. And so the game is going. I'm Minionette and he's Princess. We both start by building a mine, just a standard. And then I do a balloon while he do a mountain maker, proving I was right. At this point I'm really happy I did cannons, because I think cannon will counter mountain makers, while if I had done missiles I would be screwed. So I think I'll win this game at this point. So I do the old standard before missiles, almost. I still do all 3 mines, but I put a balloon a bit to the right. And now Hetero asks missiles only, because he's afraid I won't have missiles, and when I do a cannon he gets really scared and calls GG, because he thinks I'll win now as well. And I go to freeze his mountain makers to make sure that he won't be able to put as much dirt up, and build another cannon. I'm going to try to cannon push him. The biggest problem right now is the mine. Not the mine itself, but the area of control, meaning I can't put cannons to the right. So I have to aim to destroy it. And he keeps shooting up dirt, trying to protect his mine. He builds another mountain maker. He has also built a bank. He's probably going to try to block with mountain makers and buy out my HQ with banks. I upgrade 2 of my cannons. So remove more damage, take away more dirt, and I kill his mine just as he builds it. And what I'll be able to do when I've destroyed a mine is I will be able to build upon his dirt, which is quite good because I need to get close to HQ to be able to hit it. If I'm going to be able to hit it at all, that is. Well, I keep firing and I accidentally lower one of my own cannons. He has now 2 banks and 3 mountain makers. And he's keeping doing dirt. And I try to freeze, and I managed to freeze just after he fires. It doesn't really matter because it's the next shot, but still I wanted to freeze before. And it does a shield. I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure it helped, but it blocks some shots, that's true. Gives him a little bit more time to get up dirt. And I'm keep firing, trying to destroy, well, his buildings. The shield's effect is also that the area of control, which is really important because I can't build cannons forward. The same idea is behind this mountain makers high up. The area of control more than the actual dirt. Because I could have aimed that shot better and killed the mountain maker. That would have helped. And well, I keep firing. He keep firing dirt and he keep driving with bags. It's still a way to go for him, but I don't seem to be getting much forward in the sense of cannons right now. But I try, I build upon his dirt. What I should have done here probably is sold some of the cannons far back, so I can build more forward, because the back cannons don't really do much. They're hard to fire since they hit my own cannons, or not the cannons but the dirt under them and sinks them. As you all know, there's been a new patch very recently. I thought I was going to do this video before that patch, but the patch was earlier than I thought, and I had very little time. So I did it now instead. But in that patch, they have made it so that mountain makers will go through shields. It doesn't really apply in this situation, because it doesn't use shields, but it might make mountain makers viable in the front line. As you see, I have started to realize I won't be able to push through the dirt at its headquarters. It's going very slow, and tedious for me to do so, so I build cannons down to go directly at his banks and make it so that he has to concentrate on 2 fronts. but he has 2 highest level mountain makers, 1 second level and 1 level 1, which makes it hard for me to do anything. And his area of control is what really bothers me, especially the mountain maker up top. It stops me from building cannons more forward. If I can destroy it, and if I would have thought of selling my cannons, I could have put cannons forward, and I probably could have hit this HQ, which I haven't hit yet. It's getting hard for me to fire all the cannons. There's a lot of micromanagement. That's also an advantage of having fewer cannons in the front line. And as you can see, the backwards cannons is being blocked. Oh, not the backwards, I mean the cannons down below. On the bottom level, he managed to block those with his mountain makers, as well as those up front. Well, I'm getting a bit more forward, but not much. Oh, I managed to hit his bank with 1 shot, but then he blocks again. And I freeze 2 of his mountain makers, trying to delay his dirt as much as possible. At this moment it's the area of control from the balloon under my cannons and from the mountain makers up to the right. That is the problem. I can't build cannons more forward than I already have, which makes it easier for him to block dirt. And I kill one of his banks, and damage the other. But he's going to be able to play dirt. I had a freeze. I could have frozen the mountain makers, and maybe I would have been able to kill the other bank. That would have made a difference. And I built another cannon, and he built his other bank. At this point, he has already bribed my HQ, and I call GG. Because he will in a few, and I won't be able to kill his bank before he does. And I finally kill his mountain makers, but I lose in the seconds afterwards. Mountain makers is not as bad as people think. Hetero says they're very hard to play, and I agree. They require a bit of skill to be able to block as well as he did, but at the same time it requires a lot of micromanagement to fire as I did, and a lot of skill to build and fire at the right spot. I still believe it's harder to use mountain makers than it is to use cannons like I did, but this clearly shows that mountain makers has power and potential and isn't as bad as people think. So the mountain makers need to be thought of, they need to be tinkered with to be perfect, because right now they're either strong like this or they could be weak. So I lost the third game and is now down 0-3. It's not a good position, especially since the next map is Lava Desert, which at the time of this tournament games, it was my worst map, and I did not have much hope at this point, because I wanted to win at least one map before Lava Desert, but well, we'll have to see what happens. So make sure to watch the next game when it's uploaded to see the conclusion of this series and who will go to the final through the winner brackets and who will go down to the loser bracket finals.